I feel so awkward, you make me feel awkward. I feel so awkward with you. When I feel awkward, I like feeling awkward. When I'm being awkward with you, I wanna be awkward with you. Hi, my name is Brian, and this is my online talk show, The Awkward Hour, where we take a look at the awkward moments in life.
Very first time I met you, and it was actually at a poetry reading at the old Grunts and Postures on 2nd South and 5th West. And I remember, I think perhaps you were reading poetry or somebody else, and we spoke at the coffee bar afterwards. And I thought for a minute that you might have been like a homeless person or somebody that just kind of wandered in off the street. I saw something at Burning Man that I will remember for the rest of my life, which was there was a group of people that were playing in the mud, myself included, and these folk came along and started an impromptu talent show. When all of a sudden this one fella who was just a random muddy person got out in front of everybody, and his entry into the talent show was basically he sat there, put both of his legs behind his head, stood up on his hands so that he was supporting himself by his hands, and then proceeded to deliver a discourse or a talk about the spiritual and health benefits of drinking your own urine. You also see some hotties out there, yes.
And there's
absolutely.
the possibility for awkwardness. You know, I'm like sometimes walking around and
yes.
What if I pop a boner or
24 piercings on their genitals, and you don't really want to stare at them, but you're still going, how the hell do you have that many rings in your dick? Awkward pause.
Yeah, but a lot of that awkward pause. Insert awkward pause here.
Funny, I would just stand there and like laugh my ass off for 10-15 minutes watching this finger going up and down, in and out of the nose.
Did Jesus have awkward moments? Or, you know, I guess like when he was being put up on the cross for a moment and everyone was like, get back in. You know, awkwardness is so resilient, it can almost exist anywhere, like some killer virus or something, like Ebola or something. And then I realized they're not awkward, they just don't like me. You're really going to call him and say, I can't believe this crazy setup that Staker had for his podcast. It's retarded. You can't believe he plugged the microphone in there.
He just told you straight up. He's like, you were a fuck up. And he found out I was working at the place with no name, the thing that should not be.
I remember, like, back when I started, it was like, regulation that...
You said it!
Shit!
You're going to have to
I wasn't going to do it. Well, it was in the 90s, and it's like, you had to have either a 9-inch nail shirt or a Tool shirt.
Like, is this technically seditious speech now? Do you want to answer it?
Let me just see who it was. No, bill collector. And it has that moment where it turns from being really friendly to being...
Oh, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, if someone is threatened you at work and is chasing you in the parking lot, get away.
The awkward hour is like over an hour.
Oh, cool.
Because awkwardness is like never fucking seems to end. Okay, we're going to hear your band... Hand jobs involved.
You kicked over a table.
Yeah, that's my awkward story. That's my comedians and music. What a mix. Stories on this podcast over these episodes are going to begin with, whoa, Brian's going to be like, oh, I got a few drinks in me. I did some embarrassing shit. Okay, I'm like, oh, they think they're so fucking funny. I'll show them what's funny. The guy said something about an abortion, and then I get up there and I'm like, yeah, I was the product of a failed abortion or something.
Well, yeah,
my parents tried to abort me, but they screwed up. Okay, I'm like...
The embarrassing thing for me was my sister was in town from Minneapolis. She'd come out to see me. You know, she's a nice, demure Mormon girl. Well, she's since left the church.
But I thought, like, somewhere toward the end, I gotta kick that fucking table over. It'll rock out. It'll be so... Like, I would play the song for a little bit and then stop and then be like, wait, are you?
What am I
And I was
supposed to
looking
do?
out. I was looking out at people like, are you listening to me? Are you paying attention out there? I'm gonna tell. I have this table, and I'm gonna kick it over. Like toward like the end of my last song.
I've already
just to
begged Brian at
punctuate.
this point not to get us kicked out because, Monks is the only place in town that will let us play.
And I didn't realize I didn't notice there was an ashtray on top.
It wasn't lit very bright.
And it fell. It fell, and the ashtray, who would have thought? The ashtray, like, shattered into, like, tiny it's like, what kind of we're hitting the South Salt Lake area. We'll be moving to your area soon. Look for our awkward van in your neighborhood. Like the bookmobile, the awkward mobile. Government man, it's the government man knocking at your door. Everyone leave. Everyone got the hell out of here when the government man came. It's a hyper postmodernist theory.
These people think that the post and modern is the same post as in office.
Yeah, well, actually, you won't use your extremities. You won't need extremities. You'll just be a brain in the future. I wrote a novel about this to process.
It's like
a
the
computer.
Matrix.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I wrote this novel.
Long before the Matrix. They stole my idea.
Put your headphones on and say that again.
Suck my balls.
I never understood why they call it courtesy flush. It's like not a courtesy. It's like courtesy is like when you open a door for your date when you're going to the movie. That's courtesy.
Well, I was amazed when I talked to you first. It was like, wow, this guy really lacks some social skills. This is the guy who writes and expresses himself so well in writing.
Yeah, that's why I write. Because I have little to no verbal skills.
You're doing. I'm not trying to judge or like say that your awkward thing doesn't have its place. Like I think it probably can't get much more.
It has its place.
More interesting in that way than like to say, invite yourself over. Like you're like, I want to record in people in their own.
I want to
home.
record in people's homes.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, oh, you just invited yourself over. That's kind of.
Okay, now you're saying I'm rude.
No,
now you're saying I'm.
It's an awkward position, and I was like, I haven't been drinking so many lately, and I've been realizing my gas levels are just like so much more manageable for my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to wake up with the sheets ballooned up over our bodies like the Dutch oven.
What's so weird about that? Why can't I do that? How do you do that? How does that work? Being friends with people. How does it work?
Yeah, but you had us absolutely mesmerized because it wasn't just like every sentence you said was funny, but we were laughing literally between every word. And I don't know how you were able to sustain that
Partly
kind of...
the awkward delivery, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Part of
Well,
it
it worked wonders for you that day because...
recently, they used to have box wine and all those things, and I just went in and pretty much drank all the wine.
Well, it served you well. This point where I realized either I'm going to stay on this and not know where I'm going to end up, or I'm going to jump right now.
That was awkward.
All the fans in the Awkward Hour forum, stop arguing about which episode is the best.
Brian is possibly one of the most self-conscious and awkward people I have ever met, and I thought, what the hell is he thinking?
I want to appeal to the trailer park and the penthouse offices of Slug magazine.
Oh, I thought you were saying Penthouse magazine.
Or Penthouse magazine.
Penthouse
I have been
Slug.
published in the forum.
It sounds like a perfect life.
It is till the next morning.
I noticed most journalists are a little fast. I mean, they think fast and they talk fast, I mean, I'm not putting anyone down. Different people are different, but you were rather slow.
Anyway, so yeah, you need some coffee or something to talk.
Well, I just am waiting for a question.
Okay. The first question. How awkward was it growing up in Clearfield, Utah in the 1960s?
I have no idea. I didn't grow up in Clearfield, Utah.
Shit.
I was kind of a goofy character, kind of a strange little fellow that didn't fit in too well, but I actually do find it awkward, just waking up in the morning. Like when my eyes open and I'm brought to myself, it's just kind of awkward, like knowing that I'm me and that I have to function. And I also find it awkward just walking outside the door into the real world. Just every encounter with every human being is awkward. Even though, I handle it pretty well and I'm not full of fear. I guess there's some people that are so full of fear.
Anxiety, maybe.
Yeah, but there's some people so full of fear they don't leave the house for months or years at a time, and I'm very grateful I'm not that way. But there's a certain awkwardness just in meeting people on the street, like wondering if I should say hi or not, or and also there's awkwardness just looking in the mirror. Even though I don't hate myself, when I get in the mirror, man, I quickly comb my hair and get out of there. There's an awkward silence here. You better come up with...
Copy some discs of it. But
Please don't. I mean, I like them, but I don't listen to rock here. Hardly ever.
Boy, it's like a rule,
it's a rule
that you have. Yeah. Okay, I won't then. God. But if you're still
I
talking...
don't know. I was hoping you'd had a question for me.
See, he's pointing out my faults. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Oh, was that not it? That was not the song yet?
Oh, no. I was just...
Oh, crap. You're good. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and start whenever you want.
Okay, I was just getting in tune there. This is a song that was on the first, my first CD called Tragic Tales from the West that Mike Kirkland produced for me, and we co-wrote all the songs together. So this is co-written with him, and this is called Johnny Western. We were actually thinking of trying to sell it to Jolly Rancher, like calling it Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, you need to do stuff like that. You need to be...
We were thinking about having a Western TV show starring Crispin Glover as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I picture him in that... Johnny Depp, Dead Man, when he's on the train and he's stoking the coal on the train and he's just totally covered in soot. Crispin Glover in that little cameo.
Johnny Depp would have to be the good guy and Crispin Glover would be the bad guy in this Western we thought of.
Yeah.
We thought they'd both be bad guys, but one would be kind of the noble Robin Hood type bad guy.
Yeah.
One would just be the really bad guy.
Crispin.
Yeah. And the two gangs would often they'd maybe be in the Oklahoma territory.
Yeah.
Heydays of lawlessness. But anyway, that's just a dumb fantasy that'll never come true.
Okay.
Hopefully Johnny Depp would have been Johnny Western. Okay, here we go. Johnny Western. Western Johnny. Johnny Western.
It's a happy day. Happy day. Oh, happy day.
How good.
It's an awkward hour. Awkward hour. Awkward hour, Brian. Awkward hour. Awkward hour. Fuck, that sucked. I'd pay $15 if you fucking shave off Steve Neve's Flavor Saver and you ate it.
Do you want a sword fight again?
Yeah. Hey Brian, you want to see me and Davey have butter fights in the kitchen? We'll put the microphones on our dicks. You want to see an awkward moment? That'll make you feel awkward.
Control of my show. Help me out there in the internet.
That shit sounds like canaries. It doesn't sound like electric psychedelic canaries.
It's a feather floating.
It's a process that's interesting, but it isn't the final zap of the music. So that process we were going through, George and Paul and so forth, we were talking about what the idea might be. We decided to have a meeting at our studio to look at some of the figures that I had to, contribute to it, and Peter's paintings and so forth. And the idea that Peter came up with was to do a crowd, which he'd done several collages of crowds. Mm-hmm. And the idea would be that this was a crowd that was either coming to see the Sgt Pepper band, or it was a fan club, or something like that.
So it fit thematically with the album.
That's right, yeah. And so the crowd idea was then morphed into the idea that it would be their heroes. In actual fact, the way that played out was they chose about a third, maybe just a little more than a third of the faces on the cover, and Peter and I filled in the rest because they didn't pick enough. Mm-hmm. The kind of overarching thing was that this was the marching band standing in front of this group, whoever they were, which was never really quite clear. And I didn't very much like the idea that you would impose lettering on the cover that we were conceiving of, that the graphic designer would come in and slap, there was the lettering. So although Paul claims credit for this, it is not his credit.
Wow. Here we go. Here's
not his credit. I said, it would be nice to use the kind of civic display of, little tight plants that make up lettering, or a clock or something like that. So I suggested that as a replacement for, any graphic designer getting hold of this. Again, the outtake of that is the fact that when the flowers were booked, they turned up with hyacinths. So you can't do anything with hyacinths. They stick up, and it should have been flat little plants and stuff. So the lettering is kind of the best that could be done with the hyacinths, and never satisfactory as far as I was concerned. But anyway, it is what it is. And initially, there was actually, I have a photograph here, which I'll show you about this. Initially, there were meant to be quite a lot of figures in it, but we gradually kind of weeded them back because we needed the space.
So you did this whole thing life size and shot it. Wow.
Yeah. So now it would be a collage, and now it would be our artwork.
So did the Beatles actually pose when you? Wow.
Yeah. So we were there for the shoot. The thing about that is that at this point, I consulted with my dad because we were going to do it life size, and I'd done a lot of artwork that was cut out artwork and tableaus, and so the concept of doing it as a life size set was the way I saw it. When we came to actually make it, I went to my dad and said, what's the best way to do this? And do you have somebody who would do the blow-ups and the cutouts? And he said, well, the best way to do it is to do a giant size transparent photograph of whatever it is you're doing, and then backlight it so that it has this vibrancy of color.
Yeah.
But the budget wouldn't allow for that, so we had to make it by hand.
The budget for
the budget was
for the Beatles
$1,000
for the Beatles Sgt Pepper didn't have a big enough budget.
No, it was so didn't, and it was like the most expensive album cover ever. But it cost like $1,200 or something like that. So he told me where to get the blow-ups done, and I gathered we all got the Beatles to give us the photographs of people that they were interested in, or we researched them and found photographs of them, had them cut out, and then I did the tinting of the faces. For some reason, Peter didn't want to do the tinting, and so he hated the color. So I did that, and then we just nailed them up, basically. I mean, they were all crucified, basically. And then there were a few that, everybody knows that, John picked Hitler and Christ, and they had to be eliminated. And
they did?
Yeah.
Why is that? Too controversial?
I think, too much trouble there. And the other one that Leo Gorcey had to go because he wouldn't agree unless there was a big fee. But everybody else agreed except Mae West, and she's on there.
That's
and Mae
the
West
advantage to a lot of them using dead people.
Yeah, well, actually, there's only about 4 people that are left alive in that photograph.
And Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You see, I think looking at it today, you obviously have a different view of it because so many of those people are gone.
Yeah.
And therefore, it is not contemporary.
Well, Bob Dylan, he's alive.
He's alive, yeah. and Paul, and Ringo. It's a different thing, and if you the statistics on it are interesting in that there are 12% women on that cover, and that's scandalous. The women were picked by Peter and I, and more than half of those are kind of window dummies or blondes that are not necessarily essentially associated with being bright as anything. Mae West is probably the most interesting character, of the women. There are 3 versions of Shirley Temple on the cover. That's horrible.
Really? Wow.
And, so, the 12 includes the 3 Shirley Temples, so it's very poor. It's very poor. And really was the driving force behind, why I wanted to do the SLC Pepper to correct that.
Hello, Awkward Hour.
Jesus Christ, dude. Go straight, turn, do something.
That's good. Traffic mayhem. He's yelling at drivers. That's good.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, hey, did you trample any Walmart employees?
Say what?
I don't want to give away too much about last night at Sweetie Poops.
It has to go all the way out to the internet and come back here, and we can see. See, you're still talking about your project.
I know, you could watch
on my computer.
Hear what I said.
Look.
Well, that's going to really freak people out.
The Battleship Potemkin of internet videos.
I guess I'm comfortable being awkward. Doesn't bother me.
Oh, this person says Crispin sucks.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, it'd be too... I mean, he shut down Ruben and Ed because he wanted his name a 1/4 inch higher on the video box.
It just means I'm neurologically typical. I
Is that normal? Does that mean you're normal?
Yeah, and it's how your world refers to my world.
She's neurologically typical.
Yeah, it's boring. I actually communicated with
You
a
don't
lot
seem
of
boring.
Aspies
You don't
for-
seem boring. Can you tell I'm Aspie by how I act? Do I
Yeah.
seem
When
okay?
I first met you, I knew.
Right.
But only because, probably
yeah.
because I've researched it so much in the last couple of years,
I take tests online.
Do you know about Aspies for Freedom? That was a website I used quite a bit, actually, and I was communicating with Aspies.
I think I looked that up doing research For this, I guess. Yeah, because I didn't... Oh, yeah, I wrote a little thing about your show. They only gave me a little tiny... The show. We have to... Oh, my God, that show.
We'll talk about it.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, the show.
Oh, God.
Whatever with the show. My show. You should have come to my show.
You didn't have a dildo at the show. That's about the only thing you didn't have.
Yeah, that's in the next show.
Hello, everyone. Hey, nice shirt.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Mr. Bate, may I call you Chad?
Sorry, I have to speak up.
Chad?
Yes.
May I call you Chad or Mr. Vader?
Oh, you can call me Chad.
Oh, I do a show called The Awkward Hour podcast. I was just wondering, do you have any awkward moments?
Yes.
Like what?
Could you repeat that again?
Do you have an awkward moment? What's your most awkward moment? Besides sweating, and that's got to be hot in that suit.
Most of my moments are awkward. I'd say most of them.
Anything in particular stick out?
Oh, nothing really stands out. I would say when I'm sleeping, that's not awkward.
Could have awkward dreams. Well, any plans to retake the strike back yet again, the Empire to strike back yet again?
I don't understand the question.
The Empire strike, for the Empire to strike back yet another time?
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks. That's enough. Thanks.
Have a good time.
Start recording. It's recording! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
But yo.
I'm so happy to be here. You can't imagine. This is my online TV show, not radio show anymore. We're TV. We're internet TV. We're the cutting edge. The Awkward Hour, where we take a look at the awkward moments in life, of which this is one, and which most moments in my life are. Editor is very generous to he's found something more interesting to do apparently. I heard a girl out there.
Hold on.
Can I hear myself?
Say something else.
Hello.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I wish the food would get here, that's all.
What?
That's all I'm thinking about. What?
What? Is that I was drowned at the bottom of the sea.
Drowned at what?
I was drowned at the bottom of the sea.
Are you trying to sound like Herzog again or something?
This is Brian Staker. He lives in Utah. He likes many things that are comical and foolish.
I love feedback especially.
Hey. Hey. Hello? Hello. Did it freeze again?
And, but I just appreciate, because Found is a community art project. So I just love when people tell their friends about it, or they tell their friends, and that's how it's grown,
That's great. People give you stuff for it. That's cool.
Yeah, and we get great mail, like 10 things a day or something, I go to my folks' house once a week, and there's like a crate of mail always sending to us.
And you get stuff from here.
We get
I had no
idea.
idea.
City,
like
yeah.
what kind of stuff do you get from here?
I wish I could remember some of my favorites. If you look at the Found books, like we have an index where you can see which are the best ones from Utah, but like I don't know why, but Salt Lake City seems to be fertile territory for Found stuff.
Maybe the religious atmosphere breeds awkwardness.
I think
Could
so.
be.
There's a lot of awkwardness in the notes we get from Utah, and no, but I think more what it's about is just like if people are aware of Found Magazine and they're like part of the project, we've come to Salt Lake City, we've had some good events at the library.
You've been here before.
KWR, like they hosted us, and so like they help spread the word about it. So all of a sudden you start getting this flood of found items from here. Because I really believe it's like, the reason we get a lot of found stuff from certain cities is because people just, this stuff is floating around on the streets and sidewalks and park benches.
And because Salt Lake is really clean city compared to other,
they
you
do
know,
clean it up.
So,
but if you have enough
if
people
you look,
looking for it,
yeah,
then you will start getting stuff. And I think that a lot of people around Salt Lake have been finding this stuff and sending it to us. So, you know, Salt Lake, like Provo, Orem, Utah, you know, pretty much up and down I-15 corridor, we've been getting good found stuff. You know, and like, we always change the names and the found items, because the last thing we want is for someone to, you know, we don't want to publish anything that's going to like embarrass somebody or put them in a compromising situation. We change the names, any identifying info, and you know, then we put it on the,
like I know you're like reading out phone numbers.
Yeah, of course, we black those out, whatever. But we just want, it's more about getting that glimpse into other people's lives, and like, you know, just seeing that we can relate to it. You know, like I've been there 1,000 times myself. I've written the same pitiful love note 100 times, you know, because
you can identify with
connect,
it.
Yeah, it's all relatable, it's all universal. You know, there's not a note in Found Magazine or the Found books that I don't relate to in some way, that I don't feel like I've gone through that emotion, that little bit of, you know, ups and downs, you know. So,
yeah, a lot of really funny, but then moving, like the people trying to have a kid.
Yeah,
really
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Peter played this beautiful song based on, you know, on this note about this woman who had like 2 miscarriages and was just desperate to have a child. And, you know, so like the stuff I read tonight is like funny and whatever, but like a lot of the stuff we receive is heartbreaking, crushing. And in the magazine, I try to, you know, split it half and half between the funny stuff and the really touching and affecting stuff. And so, you know, I hope people continue to send their finds. Okay. The sound equipment.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I didn't mean to tie you up for a long period of time.
No,
that's
man.
great.
No, it's good. It's good talking to you about that.
Pick up a couple of those.
Yeah, please do. What your name again?
Brian Staker. I'll email you. I gave it and I wrote it down, and I'll write to you.
Good.
Yeah.
Anytime you get an email from Found Magazine, press reply. It'll come back to me, my brother. It's not like you know. This one woman, she was like, "Where's the Found Magazine like tower?" I was like,
"Tower, the
it's my basement of my house." So, anyways, it's cool.
So, what's Ira Glass? What's Ira Glass really like? Is he awkward? Or does
you know what? I mean, I love the awkward hour, but I will say he sounds more awkward on the air than he is. He's a cool ass dude, man. Fucking, he likes Found. He's been very supportive over the years. He's so smart, but he's not. I think he plays up his awkwardness more than he is. Ira, if you ever watch this, you're not awkward. Don't play it off like you're awkward.
Okay.
We love you. You ain't awkward.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
All right, cheers, man.
Wrath of it. I am. If somebody wants to get in
I
trouble,
hope you do feel the wrath, because that is fucking stupid, dude.
What?
Are you retarded or something?
No, I pee.
Why would you pee? Why would you pee in somebody else's apartment complex, just outside? Why would you do that? Are you stupid or something? Is there something wrong with your brain? Did you smoke too much crack?
This is your second attempt at fucking with me.
But you're fucking... That's stupid, dude. What kind of idiot does that?
I've never called you names.
But you don't fucking pee outside of the apartment complex. Are you stupid?
Haven't you ever peed here?
Dad talks to you like that.
Dude, I'm talking to you like that because that's fucking abnormal. Do you think that's normal? Do you think people just pee all over the fucking place?
Yeah, I do actually.
God, you idiot. Don't do that again. Don't do it again, okay? That is fucking stupid, dude. You don't pee fucking out in public.
Are you worried you're going to get in trouble? Or
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
You're not going to get in trouble for me peeing outside.
Don't do it again.
All right?
From now on, we have a toilet. You're welcome to use our toilet.
If somebody wants to fuck with you because of my actions, I will take them down a notch.
Okay,
all right?
good.
Nobody can fuck with you, dude. All right? Because of my actions.
What's going on?
He's not peed outside, so he's going to get kicked out.
No, I just think that's fucking retarded. People don't do that. That's fucking retarded. Retards go and pee wherever the hell they want. Fucking normal people
Oh, God. What does that mean? I'll take you down a notch.
I understand
God, I hurt myself. Oh, I hurt myself laughing. Oh, fuck. Take it down a notch.
Look at what you did.
Oh, my hernia is acting up again. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Fuck. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Should we go upstairs?
No, that's recording so that it will save now. They're two separate buttons.
No, let me see that again. Point that over here.
Huh?
I just want to check something.
What is it you want to...
No, that just as far as the feed, point the camera at me once.
Yeah.
Does the camera really add 10 pounds? Does that, do I have to
It
go like
tends
this to look thinner?
It tends...
Is that...
It's true what they say. It's awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on the lens and if you zoom in or out. I'm not sure. Like, no, we have nostril cam, tonsil cam.
So I should
we have different.
trim all that shit before my mouth.
No, you should. If it's possible, you should try to grow more. I don't know.
Out. All right. Well, I got some good styling gel from Lunatic Friends. That kinda,
Yeah, my next thing is maybe, I don't know if it makes a difference, an HD camera.
Well, with this being the end result, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's...
what you see in YouTube
well, it's compressed. It's compressed, the file, otherwise...
Well,
so, yeah.
Down the road, I mean, every year, shit, every 2 months it gets better, so... Who knows, maybe this online feeds will catch up with HD cameras in a year or two.
Okay, well, that's your awkward hour, awkward minute.
Do you have a guy that comes over and does your camera for you, or you just throw it on a tripod yourself? Or just hold it
I'm just put on a tripod. Sometimes we hand it back and forth. It's ad hoc. Different things. Good. Good in the light. The room, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. And it doesn't get dark till at least 9, so I open this up.
Okay, well, I guess that is enough. Awkward Hour, watch the Awkward Hour. Don't forget. Never forget.
Hi, Leo Laporte from This Week in Tech, saying hello to Brian and the Awkward Hour. Ooh, that was awkward.
Thanks. Thanks for everything you do.
Oh, my pleasure, Brian. Thank you.
Yo, Brian, eat your eggs. I keep going the wrong way because I'm better off dead. All the whitey want to kill me. All you motherfuckers want to thrill me. Let's go for a full-on body scan.
Body scan, airport body scan, cavity search.
Hey, here's my greatest rap of all time. And if all you motherfuckers don't understand, I will blow your motherfucking mind. 3 deacons on my ringer and I'm heading for home. Atlanta prison tried to eat me, so I wrote you a poem about time in the cell, this nigga in the mist. About that time, and now it's time to get hip. We're on the ride to a fucked about a time. We got the weapons that fucked up your mind. I choked on my pizza. Let's do it. Outer space ain't plump. You think I lied to you? We got some spaceship and some rocket to fuel. Poo PeeDee and my world is free. Free to everyone to get along with me. Popping caps is fine, but it gets you jail time. People down in the fucking vibe is maybe gonna crime. Hips is hip, it's time to get shaky. Big chicken booty, not to wake you and to break you. I got the tools and the rules for the real. I ride the funky like the show and I funk for appeal. And here's another one. Boom. You better get off of that angel dust because it'll blow your mind and then you start to rust. Angel dust.
Okay, now let's see.
Our 0 viewers will understand a lot of what I was saying.
Makes you a man.
I'm still number 4 on YouTube or whatever. YouTube, motherfuckers. I will threaten to kick your ass. You and motherfucking you. Bring me that pussy fast. I'm the greatest singer of all time. Bring me all the money, gonna blow your mind. Poo PeeDee's a man, and don't you know? He's a fucking man. He's gonna blow your soul.
That's gospel. I was going to just say that's gospel.
All about Jesus for me, people.
Jesus went upon the cross, and it's gonna feel like it's gonna toss. I'm just gonna start rapping now too. It's infectious because I'm not coming with anything else. I'm not doing the show just for my health. It's a big meme machine.
I'll let you know when you can make fun of yourself. I took picture of your love
Not my Shogun. What is that? Oh, I think that's the call dropping.
What is that?
Victor.
What is that?
And then the whole thing, you know.
That's with no condom. You're talking.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do your story. I'm not trying to do your story for you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's just like certain questions. Certain questions seem to come up just naturally. Certain things seem to come up.
Condom on, then it'd be like a fireman or something.
Oh.
Well, I'm protected by this, you know. I don't know what that is, but I'm safe in here, you know. And I can't feel anything. That's my problem. I can't feel anything with this on. They lied to me.
They? Who's they?
When they tell you that
I feel
condoms are as good as that.
That's without a condom.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I distracted your story with the condom part. Go ahead, just from where you were.
Well, they just do the whole thing where eventually the stuff shoots out of his head. Oh my God! It's and then with most men, it's after that it's like, okay, that was good, but I'm really getting weak now. I'm ready to pass out. And even when the guy's going, come on, we can keep, come on. He's like, no, dude, I'm done. I need a little break. Maybe tomorrow, but not right now.
Okay, so I actually do have pony running across the screen. My Little Pony.
Yep, there it goes. Hi, ponies. Once again, of course, I'm Vermin Supreme. It's a pleasure to be here. If I am, in fact, here, it feels like I'm here.
You're here and there, and it's like, I'll turn this up a little louder. Here, there, and everywhere when it comes to the internet, because we're everywhere and we're nowhere, kind of. It's this strange world that we live in.
The internet is everywhere.
Am I getting feedback? Okay, I do have some questions for you. Just your background.
I look forward to your questions, sir.
Okay, what's your background?
My background is an American flag, as you can see.
No, where do you come from? And are you a natural? Can you produce a birth certificate to prove that you're citizen, American natural?
If they ever try to deport me, I may have to resort to that, yes.
Anyway, were you a hippie back in the 60s? Oh, that's frightening. Teeth.
Hey!
Does politics ever really solve anything?
I would guess not. George Carlin was once quoted as saying that the politics is the entertainment division of the military-industrial complex. It was either him or Zappa. Attributed to me. I don't care.
Okay.
But is there an ultimate solution to government? Perhaps. That would be my ultimate election. That would be ponies for everybody. Once we do achieve universal pony ownership, there will be no problems to worry about anymore. So once we reach the Ponitopia, we can all call it a day. Ultimately, a vote is for Vermin Supreme is, of course, a vote completely thrown away. Vermin Supreme, the friendly fascist, a tyrant that you can trust, let me run your life because I know what is best for you.
I first saw you in River's Edge, and I was wondering why it seems like a lot of the films that you're in, you have an interest in darker and more disturbing themes, at least in the indie films that you've been in.
Okay. What did you want to know exactly?
Why does it seems like you have an interest in appearing in films with darker or more kind of disturbing themes?
Okay. So what is the question?
Why are you interested in that?
Well, give me some more examples. You gave River's Edge. What else?
River's Edge, and I don't know, like the way you appeared in What Is It? It's kind of leading into talking about this trilogy of films. I'm sorry, I can't think of right off my head, but
And have you seen What Is It?
yes. Oh, I loved it. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this one, to the second one.
And where did you see it?
I saw it here at the Tower Theater when you brought it. I think like 5 or 6 years ago. It was. Yeah.
Tell me when you're starting.
All right, I'm recording.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, I'm Brian Staker. I'm host of the Awkward Hour podcast. I've been doing this podcast called the Awkward Hour in Salt Lake City, Utah let me turn that sound on. My name is Brian Staker. I've been doing the Awkward Hour podcast on Ustream and previously on iTunes. I've been doing this podcast in Salt Lake City, Utah for 5 years, talking about the humorous side of awkward experiences and interviewing some of the most interesting people I can find about their own awkward experiences. People like filmmaker Trent Harris, fringe political candidate Vermin Supreme. I interviewed actor Crispin Glover and a lot of local awkward people. I'm having a party celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Awkward Hour. See, I need to really write this out.
That's all right. You're doing good.
This party's good where it's candid, and that's good. I have a budget for this party, and t-shirts. In my Kickstarter, what we're doing is trying to raise money to have this festival. It's a day, not just a party, it's a day-long awkward fest, a festival with local awkward performers, a lot of comedians. My co-host, I haven't even mentioned yet, Melissa Merlot, has been doing this show with me
for 2 years, a year.
I don't know.
I started
Hi, everybody.
including my own band, Get Steakerized at the end. The most awkward to try to sound so I can sound okay for other people to actually listen to, but a highlight video, best of, from the highlights of the show. See, you write shit out. To fund this Kickstarter, to literally kickstart the show again. It literally is a Kickstarter, to try to kickstart the show again. So that's our Kickstarter, and we're going to have some wonderful Awkward Hour t-shirts, pins, stickers with the logo, and so we have a lot of wonderful premiums for donors. I'm running out of things I could add.
Why don't you just tell us why you started doing Awkward Hour?
The Awkward Hour, I started it in 1988. No, 2008. Because
88.
A lot of writing, journalism, locally and a little bit national. Interviewing people is always fascinating, getting their story. Artists, musicians, is always really interesting. But it's limited by the amount of space that they have. And so I want to do something longer form, a little more free form, where we can stretch out and go more in depth with people and tell their stories. I actually had a contest of different things. I wasn't going to have it awkward when I started doing the show. I had 10 different names for the show, and my friends voted for them, and Awkward Hour was the overwhelming majority of people chose. I let them pick, they named it. You know, I am awkward. I'm my personality, you can tell from watching this, I'm just awkward, you know, so it was a good fit, and it was a good way to, because awkwardness is a part of your humanity and what makes us human, things that, not poking fun, a little goofy, you know, like awkward things you see on the internet, silly little videos, but sometimes though, yeah, but I mean, trying to get in depth and find out, using awkwardness to find out more about what makes us human, you know, and what makes us tick, and you know, that type of thing. What is important to all of us in the inner depths of our psyche. Did you just stop it?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
That was closed up.
Okay, so maybe that's about.
That's good.
Okay.